Okay, two big reports. This is a big deal, folks. We're going to have a global call to confront the actual criminals, not their puppet capitals in Europe, over the austerity. The lion's share of the European tax money and our tax money is going to these criminals. These are the engineers of our pain. And high noon in St. Moritz, Switzerland. If you're in Europe, folks, you need to be there. High noon, get there. That is the protest date. High noon, key Google search term. Google it right now. Put it in over and over again. A Google bomb. Bilderberg protest. And then you can reverse it and search it. Protest Bilderberg. And that will lead them to the protest article that Steve Watson will soon get up at prisonplanet.com. I cannot stress to you how important this is. And soon, Kurt Nimmo will have his exclusive report. This is breaking here with more details than we've been given so far on the first portion of the agenda that we've gotten from a man who 100% has the intel. So this is huge. Going back to Aaron-Dykes. Aaron, other points. I mean, this looks like more security, though, with cameras and a tarp to block the cars and all of this than and floodlights than we've seen at previous events.
Right. Take, for instance, Canada, where they used the backdoor ramp drop so they could hide a lot of their high-profile people, including, including Hillary Clinton. This year, they have the entrance checkpoint where they do the key validation, making sure the people are on the list, and they put up a barrier wall, keeping down the visibility so you can identify or easily take pictures. Then they've got roughly 150 yards, maybe even 200 yards to the main entrance. So it's quite receded. It's covered in trees, and they've really made it a challenge to photograph.
And this is our government representatives violating the Logan Act. Hillary was fined, what was it, $300,000 for this back in the mid-'90s. Going and meeting and hiding and then lying and being caught, not wanting the media to cover it, but usually it's only the alternative media covers it anyways. But I'm looking at these photos. You can get down the road with the zoom camera, zoom in, and still get shots of them at that checkpoint. There's more than one way to skin a cat in the info war, and we're going to get these videos. They'll undoubtedly also be toddling around in the resort below, and so you know what to do there. We're going to get the video and identify these criminals and their activities. Aaron?
Yeah, and they know we're watching them. I mean, the protesters that are here now are very visible, and if we get a lot more numbers, the message will clearly be sent. For those that do come to the village, it's quite small, so you will be seen, you will be heard. I would imagine there's a lot of places to stay. Of course, a few places are closed down because it's off-season from the ski resort, but there should be room to come on down. And you can literally see it. It's kind of up on the hill, the Master Hotel overlooking the lake that's part of the mountains here in St. Moritz. And so if they do leave the hotel, I would imagine they, too, will be easily seen, and I think it would be hard for them to hide, Alex.
Well, Aaron, I am calling on everybody. We need to make this big. We need the people of Europe and the world who are being robbed by these folks to actually go confront the people that are buying and selling our politicians. And also, everyone should pick newspapers and TV in Switzerland to call, but also international media, and demand they cover it. If you had 125 top media people or Hollywood folks meeting, it would be helicopters, the press, thousands of gawking spectators, but they try to run this electronic Berlin Wall and have this blackout. We've got to break that blackout in the American press. And that's another issue. Where's Bilderberg in the U.S. News? There's a blackout on that. Gentlemen, stay there. Let's do 5 minutes into the next hour. For internet only, for stations, the main show's ending. We'll be over at Infowars.com. Coverage of the global crime syndicate meeting in St. Moritz, Switzerland. We're now into internet-only overdrive. Well, we're on the satellite. Stations can pick this up if they want. We've been talking to Paul Watson. We're talking to Aaron-Dykes. And we've got two big reports. The big announcement of the global protest to convene Saturday at high noon in St. Moritz, Switzerland, and big chunks of the super-secret Bilderberg agenda from the mole we've got through Tucker and others. And a lot of what Tucker's now said is also confirmed by a Swiss newspaper. that a lot of big decisions are being made, as we knew. This is huge news. So that's all coming out very, very soon. I'll keep doing Overdrive until I get the info and can cover it here. But, gentlemen, Paul Watson, so much to talk about. As soon as you hang up the phone, you're going to remember some issues you forgot to cover. What else is important that people need to know about what's happening?
Well, Alex, there was a kind of a red herring put out because everybody said that it was going to be at the Hotel Pinsky. When we drove into town, into St-Moritz, we drove directly past this hotel. And in fact, you can see it from this hotel window as well. And it was all shut down. There was nobody there. And that's what started the rumor in the first place, because people had tried to book rooms there 4 days during this Bilderberg conference. And that was the kind of herring, but they're actually way up on the hill, a more secluded spot, which is what you would expect, because this Kapinski Hotel is right down, basically just outside the center of town. So it's no surprise that it is up at the Savretta Hotel and not at the Kapinski, which is what many had reported beforehand.
Any other points, Paul?
No, Tucker said about the Libya thing, they're terrified of Congress stopping the bombing of Libya. They want a gigantic war in the Middle East, which is the same as what they said last year. Of course, we know they're still concerned about the Greek debt situation and the euro. We had Bilderberg, Kenneth Rogoff, come out and say that if the Greek debt situation is allowed to spiral into crisis, and if Greece defaults on its debt, then that could place in peril the euro and in turn the global currency, the regionalized currencies that the elite seek to implement. So they're still very much concerned about the collapse of the euro and the breakup of the European Union. The newspaper, one of the newspapers we purchased this afternoon, talks about a Swiss energy minister attending the conference, which is interesting because Switzerland has just agreed to decommission all its nuclear power plants by 2034. And this lady, Luthard, is a Swiss, Doris Luthard, she's the Swiss energy minister, and she's been summoned to Bilderberg, and that's on the front page of the Bundner Tagblatt newspaper. So Bilderberg are obviously very concerned about the fact that their agenda with nuclear power could be coming to an end in the aftermath of Fukushima. So they've summoned this energy minister.
Well, how shameful is it that there's no coverage in the U.S. media except for the Drudge Report linking to us on Monday? I know Drudge is waiting for our big reports with the inside intel, but those will be out soon. So hopefully he'll help us break the electronic blockade, the no information zone they've tried to set up here in the United States. And so I'm Princess Leia Drudge. Help me, Obi-Wan Drudge. You're our only hope. No, folks all over the world are listening. How exciting do you think this idea for the mass protest on Saturday is, Paul?
Well, it's big because, to be frank, there's not enough people there at the moment. I mean, the conference hasn't actually started yet. There were reports of a few members arriving, but we didn't see much evidence of that. There were, the black cars in evidence, but there were no passengers. So this thing hasn't even begun to kick off, so that's why people need to get down there, and they've still got time to do so.
Absolutely. We've got videos and audio being linked at our Twitter account, twitter.com/RealAtlasJones. Please retweet everything. We've got the big data page with the videos archived, the live streaming videos, the photos, and so much more. Gentlemen, let me say bye to you during the break and talk to you about future planning, and then I'll come back and cover a ton of vital news.